Yes, sir! It's not a horrible thing to walk up and look at one like that. It's never been love turkey hunting.
Got him, old son. All right, it's 6:27, and Jason and I just got on top of the ridge. We kind of going in blind on public this morning. Brian hunted up here Tuesday, killed a bird, and he was kind enough to share some points of where he'd heard a few more. But like so many of you all that's going to be hunting public, we don't have any birds roosted, and we're going to jump out of the truck here in a minute, and hopefully one's going to fire off on the limb, and then we can make a game plan to go after him. So fingers crossed, we're going to hear some birds gobbling in a second. We were literally about to get in the truck, drive on up the road, see if we could hear a bird gobble. And as I was walking around the front of the truck, we just had a bird sound off here within 200 yards of us. There's a steep drainage right here. We're going to try to grab our stuff and work around and get on the same ridge as him. Might already booger him, but we'll try. Well, we parked right on top of one is what we got going on. We literally got out of the truck and this bird gobbles within 150 yards of us. I said 200 originally, but I'm gonna chop it down to 150. But he's got us pinned down in a bad setup. Like, we're not gonna try to work him from here. We just gotta let him hit the ground and then try to make a move. It's been the story so far this morning, ain't it? Had that bird gobble early on the roost. I think we boogered him. It was just a bad set. We parked and he gobbled so close, and we really didn't have anything to do other than to tuck in really close to the parking area. And I think he seen us as we came in. He hushed up, gobbled maybe 3 times this morning. And then we've been driving around just trying to strike birds up and haven't had any luck. But we're gonna ease out this ridge, put some boots on the ground, see if we can't find some turkey scratching, some sign. Try to find us one. So Jason and I, we're out here looking for turkeys, and listen, public is just a different ball game. We've been lucky enough that we've had farms that we've scouted. We came in here totally blind this morning, hoped to hear some birds on the limb. Heard one, messed it up. Now we're just trying to find some more. But if you don't know how to read topo maps, learn. They'll be your friend, not just for turkey hunting, but for deer hunting or anything else. I use Onyx. There's several different apps you can use, but the good thing about this one and several others is right now we're hunting in an area where I have 1 bar of service right now, but it comes and goes, and once we drop in these hollers, we're gonna lose service. So always download your maps offline so you can use them whenever you don't have service. And then just being able, if we get lucky and we hear a bird out here, being able to kind of pinpoint where it's at and knowing if we can make a play on it or if we have to go back up and come back out another ridge, super, super helpful. Right now, like I said, birds aren't gobbling great this morning, so got on my topo app. We're gonna walk out here, set up on the end of this ridge. What I like to do a lot of times whenever I'm out and birds aren't gobbling great is try to find a good high spot, preferably where you can hear down into like a big drainage where there's several ridge systems that come together down in there. It's not super windy today, but that'll get you out of the wind on those windier afternoons, windier mornings, and just give you a chance to be able to hear birds. And if you can't strike one up, maybe you get lucky, a bird will work into that drainage with you and he'll start gobbling on his own. So we're gonna go out here, we're gonna set up for 20 or 30 minutes, get comfortable, rest our legs, and hopefully hear a bird gobble. Again, we're on public land. This is Daniel Boone National Forest. We're down in Macquarie County. And if you want a truly wild experience, you know, get away from everybody and have lots of ground to roam, McQuarrie County is a good place to check. Over 60% of this county is federally owned, so a lot of public ground. Outside of this area, some other places that you could find some really remote terrain to hunt in would be Boone Forest Land and Elk Forest WMA over in East Kentucky, but there's so much public ground across the state for folks to hunt on. If you want to find out more information about it, a good place to start is our website, fw.ky.gov. You can go to the Maps tab. It'll pull up a state layer, and you can see every WMA across the state. And you click on those, it'll give you statistics on the area, the location, the regulations for each area. It's a good place to start. You also have contact information for the public lands biologists that work those areas. And really just a lot of good information on our website there. But again, we're out here trying to strike one up. We're getting our butts kicked right now, but we're not going to go down without a fight. We got, I don't know, 45 more minutes here or so to try to strike one up, so we're going to do our best. Something to keep in mind when you're out in the woods hunting like this, you got to play the terrain. So before I bust up over the crest of this little ridge here, I'm going to start calling on the backside, because if there's a bird just over, you're going to walk up there, he's going to silhouette you, he's going to get out. The other thing I like to do is, instead of coming out calling super loud, is I'll call soft a few times in case there is a bird there. He's going to gobble, you're going to hear him, and you can get back and set up. If you don't hear him that first time, take the volume up, start cutting, get a little more aggressive. And spoiler alert, I knew there wasn't one over there, but we did it anyway, so that's what to do. This is something to look for when you're out in the woods. This is not fresh scratching by no means, but turkeys have been in here using. But if you can find an area where there's really fresh scratching, it's a good spot to be. Bo and I actually did that on his afternoon bird that we showed you yesterday. That bird, they were gobbling over the ridge. I remember when we walked around, we popped up and we saw all that fresh scratching on top of that ridge. I got a little excited because I knew we were in a spot that they like to be at. So keep your eyes out, be looking for scratching, droppings, turkey tracks, anything that's going to give you a clue. Birds like to use that area. Well, that is a wrap. Not for strutting, because I got one more day. But it is for me, because I'm gone tomorrow. And what seems to be a recurring theme here, I got my butt kicked on public. And I know my buddies are gonna have a lot of fun out of that, because they've been giving me a hard time saying the only way I can kill a turkey these days is with Bo McGuffey or John Collins or somebody. But I promise, I've killed a bunch of birds on public, and you can too. It's a great way to hunt. It's a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, don't lose sight of the reason we're out here. It's time spent with Jason back here behind the camera, and everybody that I met this week, from Michael Couch to Tony Dempsey to John Henry, getting to hunt with my grandpa. Y'all didn't see that, but it was an awesome hunt. And Bo, I mean, me and Bo's buddies now. So spending time out here with your family and friends, that's what it's all about. Killing a bird's a small part of it, to be honest. But didn't kill one today. It's the first day all week, but we ain't gonna leave you hanging. Bo and I actually had a little cooking competition a couple weeks ago with Eli's turkey. So this evening, y'all get to watch, see who cooks the best turkey, but it's me.
All right, it's the week after youth season, and my boy Eli, he killed a bird this past weekend, and tonight, Merle and his family are coming over to the house, and we're going to cook this thing up. For the past year, Merle has talked about his famous Chick-fil-A turkey nuggets. So tonight, he's coming over to cook those for us. But as much as the cooking, as important as the cooking part is, and the recipe and all that stuff, just as important is the preparation and cutting a turkey breast up. So you can see behind me, here's part of that turkey breast. We thawed it out today. Just got through washing it and cleaning it up very good. And then over here, you can see I've got a chunk of it. All right. And I have sliced this breast across the grain. So as you look down there, the way the grain's running, I've sliced across. Here's a very, very important part. turkey meat is very, very tender unless you leave this white silver skin on the outside, okay? So you can see on there, there's big chunks across all that breast. Trying to slice it off that whole thing can be pretty tough. So what I do, again, slice it across the grain. Now I have this piece of the breast, okay? And I just go right across the top of that breast, slicing that off. Now, all that silver skin right there, that will be discarded. Put that out. I'll chunk this up into little nuggets, just like this little piece right here. So I got that little turkey nugget. That's a very, very good piece of turkey meat that's ready. We'll soak it and then put it in the marinade. Merle marinade says in pickle juice, and it'll be ready to go. But it's so important, make sure you get that silver lining off that breast before you cook it.
We went from strutting in the bluegrass to strutting through the kitchen here. I got the McGuffey family and my family over here. We're going to have dinner together, all thanks to Eli and the bird that he shot on Youth Weekend. So I'm going to kick everybody out of my kitchen here in a minute. We're going to show y'all how we do it here in Kentucky.
All right, Merle.
You filming this?
So yeah. So one of the things when you talk about cooking a turkey, everybody's got their own
way of doing it. And
so,
there's probably not a wrong way to do it, I don't guess, because as long as you battering it and you deep frying it.
Yeah.
But Emily is a big fan, my little girl, she's a big fan of Chick-fil-A, and I came across a copycat Chick-fil-A recipe, and that's what we're going with this evening. At least half of it is, and you're going to do your half your way. And then we're going to let Emily be the judge of whose is the best, and it better be Dad's here. So. But you can find the recipe online, super easy. Just need some eggs, milk, breadcrumbs, and I think the secret is, in this bag, is a little powdered sugar in there. So I've never thought about mixing powdered sugar with your dry mix, but that's what it calls for. So in this bowl here with the turkey meat, and you done cooked it up, so if it ain't no good, I'm blaming it all on you, but we had pickle juice in there. So you can marinate the turkey meat in the pickle juice for up to 24 hours. I think we just did this for about an hour. Pull it out of the fridge, add the milk and the eggs to it, and then I'm gonna get the dry mix together, and then we're gonna roll it in that and get our grease heating up, and we'll throw it in there in a minute. Oh, Emily's a pretty good helper.
So what are you doing, Emily?
Putting breadcrumbs in this.
Get the bread.
Oh no. That's all right. It makes it better.
That's right.
Em's a pretty good helper whenever we're packaging deer meat too. She'll usually come out, she'll write everything down on the packages, because she's got a little better handwriting than Daddy. Think about it. Let's see, got a sizzle. Oh yeah. I know Emily's been excited. She's mentioned these turkey nuggets 4 or 5 times today at you. Yeah. Splatter that hot oil right up there on that camera.
Merle has cooked his. He talked to you about the pickle juice. So mine is very, very simple. All I did was let it soak in Italian dressing and roll it in an egg and flour. And it's a little different, but the good thing with wild turkey, it's hard to mess it up. So, but of course, Merle got to cook his in the fresh grease. Now I get it. So.
Well, you roll yours in my dry mix after you put it in your stuff.
So we'll see.
Eli, how is it?
Pretty tough to beat.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna give it his best
That's
shot.
the face of victory.
I think so.
Mine was pretty good.
I got Allie. Allie gave me a high five on it.
I can tell Dad is in his thoughts right now.
Look at him, he's got his towel on his shoulder. He can rub the sweat off.
Dad is deep in
I'm
his
not
thoughts.
putting up a fight. I agree. I like the chicken nuggets too. The pickle juice. Say hi. All right. So what's everybody's take?
Alright, so
I think it's good.
10 out of 10.
Which one's better?
Merle.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
Dad.
I still think yours is good.
You still get a trophy too, Bo, but mine's the best. Well, this is the other side of hunting, and I know we all have fun out in the woods, shooting animals and just harvesting game and everything, but getting to come back, bring families and friends together and sit around the dinner table is and kicking your butt in this turkey cook-off competition. I mean, it's what it's all about, really.
You know, there ain't nothing like hunting and providing for the family.
He might be yours, Merle.
Yeah.